And we're on our way. Let me see the chat. People are being... Yeah, okay, they're hating on Fortnite. Okay, that's all good. Welcome, everyone. This is going to be podcast number 2. This time, we are going to try to change some things, improve some things. So the first thing we're going to try and do is spend a little less time on results, like WCS results and so on. We're going to try to make some predictions, like always, for the future ones, and I'm going to be discussing some topics. Some of the topics we're going to be discussing today. Should Goliaths be in StarCraft II? StarCraft III, is it going to happen? I don't know. The future of the RTS genre, campaign in the next expansion / DLC regarding the story, because I am the lore master, as we all know. I did campaign recently, so... should we be able to veto the matchups on ladder, hybrid as playable for fourth race, and then we're gonna have a little cheeky surprise question towards the end. But that's not the only thing that's happening today. Today I have the very first guest. This guy, they call him JP, Yepin, Japan. And so many more things. He's a Fortnite gamer. He used to play StarCraft II until something happened where I'm going to talk about that. But with me today, Yepin, how are you doing? How you doing, girl?
I'm good when I hear your sweet voice.
Nice. Okay, so for those that don't know, if you guys are especially watching this on YouTube, Yepin is a friend of mine. He's been a moderator for... How many years? 3 years? 2 years?
2 years, I think.
Yeah, on my stream. And,
maybe.
Yeah, so he's gonna join me. We're gonna have some discussions. So let's do it. Are you ready, boy?
Yeah, ready when you are.
Alright, so... I should have probably linked you, but you can find it. The WCS results.
I'm watching your stream.
Okay. So the first thing we had is WCS, EU, and NA Challenger stage finished. We're gonna quickly go through these, hopefully, unless I go into a rant mode. But yeah, I mean, NA scene, nothing surprising. TLO, Massa advancing. I think I predicted Massa first. Astrea went first. Then Soltorix didn't make it. Upset right there. Drunken Boy going second. Neeb going first. We got the the ex-map hacker going into the second, Vindicta, and then Scarlet going first. Not a surprise there. And then Future made it over Puck. I mean, I was rooting for Semper, but I knew he's kind of not going to make it because he's not really practicing a lot. He's been in, studying for university. So, yeah. Now, the playoff brackets are kind of set up, but not really. I'm not sure why they're not. Because this finished yesterday. Yeah, today's Monday, so this finished yesterday. So only first places are seeded, and also Massa, but the other 3 are not. Now, I don't know if that's because of the WCS points. I'm not exactly sure how that works. But, I mean, yep, and let's just... First of all, are you surprised with these results?
No. But did you see how Semper lost like 30 Marines to Banelings in one game?
No, I haven't.
I'll show you the clip so you can maybe.
Oh my god. Poor Semper.
Like,
Semper used to be really good, but
That was the yikes.
Okay.
I think that's what made him lose the game.
Okay.
To Scarlet.
Oh, he was close to like winning a game?
It was not close, but like it was at least equal, I guess. But that moment he just
Yeah, Semper has actually beaten like Neeb many times in the past. Like no one would count on Semper, and Semper just like beats really, really good players. So playoffs. I mean, the brackets don't really need to be filled in for NA. I feel like who are we gonna see in the finals? We have Neeb on one side, Scarlet on the other side.
Man, stop being toxic towards the NA.
I'm not. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
No, this is like I'm talking. Like this is not a like. Oh, guys, everyone's so good. I just don't know who's gonna make it. No, it's gonna be Neeb Scarlet finals. I will be shocked if it's anyone else. I will be shocked. I will be very shocked. So, who wins, Neeb or Scarlet? Yep, and go. Final predictions.
Like Scarlet can make some cheese, you know, but I think Neep will go through. Honestly,
I think Neep.
he's always the best from NA. So
Neep 4-2.
4-2. Damn.
Yeah.
It will like 4-1 for me.
4-1. Okay. Okay. If you're wrong, you have to pay me $100. That's how we agreed on this pre-stream. He didn't know about it, but
man? I'm doing this for free, so you know.
Come on, man. Come on. You're doing it for the love. Okay, so yeah, I predict 4-2. He predicts 4-1. I mean, I think Scarlet always, I feel like she can play macro games just fine, but she always, I feel like, plays cheek against Neep because they probably practice a lot together and they play a lot together. So, like, they know each other's styles. I think there's a lot of mind games, but I think Neep's just solid AF. And, yeah, I think we both think he's going to win in the end. All right. Yeah. NA completed. Let's move on to the European side. So, first thing, Group A. Okay, so I predicted Laser first and Thermal second. And, boy, oh boy.
Power.
Boy, oh boy. Thermal, if you guys haven't watched, Thermal did 5 Rax Reaper with +1 off of 2 base. So if you...
I didn't see.
Yeah, so both games he did 3 Rax Reaper opener, like the old 3 Rax Reaper, into 5 Rax with +1. He literally just made Reapers. He didn't have Marines or Marauders or anything else. So if you haven't watched that series, people watching, watch it. Like, it's interesting to say the least. And yeah, he beat Elaser, he beat DNS, and he beat Elaser in advance first. So very nice. I mean, Thermal's micro is always very good. So I don't think Elaser was expecting that, honestly. Like, it's kind of like one of those things where I don't think Elaser's played against that in probably months. And well, Thermal obviously practiced it a little bit. Now the next group. Showtime, Marine Lord, Hero Marine, Mana. So this is the group that I said is probably the hardest to call. I did call Mana 4th because I did feel like he's the, level lower than these guys. But I did say, watch out for my boy Marine Lord. I said Marine and Clem. I think, well, Clem didn't do... Well, we'll talk about that later. But Marine Lord making it through, lost 2-1 against Showtime and then beat Hero Marine in the deciding match. Showtime going first, and yeah, Showtime solid. Marine Lord improved a lot, and well, it already shows. Next group, Cyril. Well, it was yeah.
What a surprise! Oh, I didn't expect Cyril in advance. Like, damn.
Yeah, he kind of walked through the group like always, advances first, and then actually the interesting thing that happened here. So I watched this group. I actually watched most of these matches. So the first time Clem and Lambo played, Clem destroyed him. Like, it was... If you guys ever watch my stream, when I lose against Aaron as a Zerg, and they just, like, stim in and kill me kind of thing, that's what happened both games. Like, it was really one-sided. And I think I called Clem being second in this group. And the first time they played, Clem smashed him. And then in the deciding match, I don't know if it's because Clem lost to Cyril in the match before that. Maybe, I don't know what happened. Maybe Lambo was playing his game then. But it was completely the opposite. I feel like Lambo looked way better. Clem was doing a lot of mech then, which I'm not... I don't know. I mean, if Bio works against Lambo 2 games in a row, you kind of do it again, I feel like. I do understand he wanted to mix it up. I found it really weird because I had a lot of thoughts about these games. Like every time he opened Battlecruiser, he had a really good game. But then in the last series against Lambo, I think he opened Cloak Banshee each game, and it just didn't do anything. Like, Cloak Banshees at high level, they don't do anything. And I don't know. Maybe he played too safe. I'm not sure. Maybe he was nervous, but it didn't look like the same Clem, and it didn't look like the same Lambo from the first series. And the last one, Rainer, Didrogo, and Gungfu. I mean, this is kind of what everyone predicted, I feel like. Gungfu had some good games. Overall, I would say this group was probably the weirdest in terms of gameplay and maybe sloppiest. The PvPs were really weird. Like, one player would lose 6 probes, and the other guy would lose like 10 probes, and the other guy would lose 7 probes. Then 2 adepts would go in and kill like 5 probes. It was weird. Rainer versus T Drogo was a disaster. Do not watch that. I don't know. T Drogo is insane in PvZ. I've watched his stream. He plays really well. That series was not his to play. It was a really weird games and series. So yeah. Any surprises for you, Yepin? I'm not sure if you actually watched any of these games.
I didn't, but I'm surprised by Hero Marine that he didn't advance. Like, I consider him like the one of the best Terrans in the EU.
Yeah.
You thermal, but like, damn, Mariner was like, that was a big surprise for me when I saw it.
Yeah, so, I mean, a lot of people think that, right? When you talk about 2 best Terrans, it's Euthermal and Hero Marine. And, actually, I played Marine Lord like a month ago, and I was beating him with my Terran and my Protoss, and then I met him a couple of days ago. He's 6.9k now. Like, he's good. Yeah, he's improved a lot, and obviously, like, when I met him a couple of days ago, he smashed me, I think, 2 or 3 games in a row, like, pretty bad. And I noticed the difference in playing him. So he improved a lot, clearly. And I think the interesting thing about these 3 guys, and Clem, I would say, they have completely different playstyles, all 4 of them. Like, Marine Lord reminds me of, like, Special's playstyle. Hero Marine is, like, very solid, but maybe that's his weakness. He's a little predictable. You know, like, what he does it really well, but everyone knows what he's going to do. And then Thermal, you have the Micro Lord, basically. He's Marine Lord, this guy's Hero Marine, and Thermal is the Micro Lord. So, yeah, I mean, but other than that, you know, you can't be too surprised by the other names and be, like, too shocked. It's kind of what most people predicted. Or at least thought of, that's going to happen. So then we have the playoffs, and the playoffs for EU are completed, as in the brackets are done. So, oof.
Do you want to do this like by every match or?
Yeah, quickly go through it. When is the? Okay, and then semifinals. Oh, and finals. Okay, so Cyril T Drogo, go.
It's not even a question. Cyril will go through 100%.
Like, okay, so.
3-0.
I think if T Drogo plays like he played against Rainer, he's gonna get 3-0'd. If he plays his best, I think he's gonna be 3-1. I think Cyril's just too good. Like, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. T Drogo is really good, but Cyril is Cyril. So I would say 3-0, probably. Because I think also people are just tilted playing against Cyril because they know how good he is. So. But I think at this point we all want kind of someone to do well against Cyril. You know, like an upset or something.
Well, you can see that the Rhino might be in the finals again with him.
Yeah.
That might be interesting, you know.
So, Euthermal Lambo. What do you say?
I would say like 3-1 Euthermal, honestly. But Lambo is not bad. He can do something, but I don't know how is his TVZ. Like CBT.
I think that last time they played actually was in the last WCS in Kiev, and I think Lambo beat Euthermal 3-2, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh. Yeah, but he lost to Clem, as you can see, but then won.
Yeah, so...
Because Clem messed... But, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think Euthermal will mess this up, I would say.
I think Euthermal... I think it's going to be close, 3-2 either way, but I'll pick Euthermal. Because he'll be hungry for the revenge, but I think it's going to be close in this one. At least based on their previous games. Yeah, I think it's going to be 3-2.
3-1.
Okay.
I think like 3-1.
I say 3-2 Euthermal, but I think it might be 3-2 for Lamba too. But yeah. Rainer Marine Lord. Oof.
Yeah. Then I don't know because I didn't see Marine Lord how he's playing, but like I love Rainer. Like he's my boy. I like him even more than Cyril. Like I think in no time he'll be even better than Cyril. In like 1-2 years.
Okay, what would you predict result-wise?
3-0.
3-0 for Rainer?
Yeah.
This one is the hardest for me to predict. I think this match is the weirdest to predict. Like, your Thermal and Lambo is probably maybe the closest, but this one is going to be really weird because, like I said, Marine Lord plays like special and he does a lot of aggressive stuff. I do actually see him beating Raynor at this point. Like, I think he's gotten that good. But
That's the thing. I didn't see how he's playing, so
yeah, like I do think he
I
can
trust
actually
Raynor.
beat him. But Raynor is just really, really good. So the question is, like, there's a big difference between ladder and tournaments, and between group stage and playoffs, and between playoffs and top four, and between top four and finals. They're all different, and you need a lot of experience, which he has, but he hasn't been in the scene for a while. So, like, yeah, he did advance group stage, but maybe he's gonna be nervous. Maybe Raynor prepares super well because it is a best of 5. I'm gonna
I think
say,
Raynor always prepare nicely. Like he has good
yeah,
strat
he has
always in
good
the
builds.
match.
Yeah.
So-
He does like proxy hatch. I'm gonna say Raynor 3-1, but I do think that if they played in the next WCS, I would actually pick Marine Lord, just because I do think that the practice takes a while to kick in. Like,
So
you don't
much
get
pay.
6. Yeah, you don't get 6.9k and instantly beat people at like top level. You need a little bit for that to settle in, for you to get comfortable. So I'd say Raynor 3-1. Wait, what did you say? 3-0?
3-0.
Okay. And then Showtime Laser. Honestly, I think Showtime's back. I'm gonna say 3-1 Showtime.
This is for me the hardest one to pick because Showtime is like one of the best prototypes in EU, but Laser can surprise. Like you can't out Laser.
So the
He always
reason,
performs in the qualifiers and like playoffs.
yeah, the Laser had a really insane years before, but he's been kind of like a little bit off compared to before. But after he lost to like 3-Rax Reaper, which again is no shame. It's not like haha he got trolled or something. Like it's
Yeah, but
Thermal's Reapers. But then he also played 2-1 versus DNS, and I think everyone is gonna agree that Showtime is way more solid at DNS. I actually really like Laser's playstyle, like the way he plays Zerg. It's very similar to Raynor's, except I feel like he's more aggressive at times with his attacks. Like Raynor is doing run-bys, but Laser is like, I'm gonna go for it, and he just does
He's
it.
going ham. Yeah, he's going ham. all
But the
time.
problem with Showtime is just solid, and he's just like a wall, you know. So I'm actually thinking between 3-0 and 3-1, but I think I'll go with 3-1 for Showtime. I think he's back. I think Showtime's really good. He's the best Protoss in Europe. So yeah, what do you say?
I would say 3-2 Showtime, but like I don't know. This is really hard for me. This matchup.
Okay, so we're not gonna do like the semifinals in depth, but assuming Cyril and your Thermal advance, what do you say?
Sir,
Cyril,
go through. I don't know, 3-1 maybe.
yeah, I'd say 3-1 too. And then let's say Raynor Showtime. Oh, that's gonna actually be a really good matchup.
Yeah, that's gonna be really good.
If
But
if that happens, that's a really good matchup. I'm actually, in a way, I'd be more excited to watch that than Cyril Thermal, because I feel like we haven't seen a lot of Raynor Showtime. Maybe I'm wrong.
and Protoss is kind of broken right now, right? Like the 2 basal lanes with the Immortals and stuff.
But that's yeah, but Showtime doesn't play like that. That's the thing. Like, he can do it, which makes it dangerous, because usually he plays macro. So that, I think this meta favors Showtime a lot, because 2 base lanes are so popular, and he's so 3rd base oriented. He can do the 2 base, because it's not hard to execute, but he can also just bamboozle you, and you get behind as a Zerg. So I think that series, if it happens, is going to be really good.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
I
so
say still Raynor, honestly. I don't know.
I actually don't know. I'm not gonna call it. I actually don't know who would win, because Raynor is like, Raynor is the aggressive Zerg, but Showtime is good against that. But Raynor is so good at the same time. But then Showtime, I'm gonna say Showtime 3-2.
Damn, really?
Yeah, I think Showtime would win, to be honest.
I don't know if Showtime will let it pass through, but I think he can beat both of them. Honestly, I don't know what score, but he.
I mean, I think it's gonna be really telling. Like, if Raynor is like struggling versus Marine Lord, and Showtime like wipes the floor with the laser 3-0, then I think that's kind of like maybe a little telling. You know, who's in better shape and form? Because these are gonna be played. These are gonna be played in one day. All these matches. So you know, maybe Showtime is a great day. I don't know. But anyway, finals would be Cyril versus either Raynor or Showtime. I'm going to give my predictions first. So I think that Cyril, Raynor, I think Cyril wins again, like 4-1. I think Raynor is sick good. Like, he's a really good player. But I think when he did beat Cyril, he did use some cheeky play, which doesn't take anything away from the win. I've talked about this before. But I think Cyril, the more times he plays the same opponent, the better he gets against that opponent. And
he's like an AI.
yeah. And I feel like Raynor is the opposite. Raynor is like, I'm going to keep trying to change up things to surprise the opponent. And I mean, what else can you pull out to beat Cyril? That's the thing. Like, he's not going to reinvent something in ZVZ like Ravage or Muta. You know, like, I feel like he ran out of tricks. So I feel like Cyril would win 4-1. And then Cyril Showtime, I think it would be 4-3 either way. I think Showtime's really good. So, I do think realistically Cyril will probably win like 4-2, but I'm hoping for 4-3 either way. What do you think?
I don't know. I think Cyril beats Raynor in Showtime too, but the matches will be really close against Raynor. I would say 4-3 for him. Against Showtime, I don't know. Like 4-1.
I don't know. I really, like, my kind of Protoss, actually, like, from all the Protosses in Europe, I probably enjoy Showtime's the most because he plays, like, very campy, macro-oriented.
Yeah, defensive.
Defensive. And, like, all memes aside, like, people are like, Protoss A-move. Protoss playing defensively that well is actually really hard to do. Like, to not take any damage from Terran drops, link run bys is extremely hard. Like, I would say that's the hardest thing about Protoss because if you do take any damage, you die to the next attack. And he does it really well, really easy. So, I don't know. I think the bottom side of the bracket is, for me, way more interesting.
More interesting, yeah. For me, too.
But, I mean, we'll see. Maybe we get an upset. Maybe Cyril gets wrecked. You never know. You never know.
By Uterma? Might be.
I mean...
Did Uterma ever beat Cyril?
Yeah, he did. He actually has, I think, maybe not the best, but one of the best records against Cyril. But I don't know when was the last time he beat him, so...
Well, maybe he can pull, again, like some 5 racks or Reaper, you know, with +1.
Dude, so last time they played, you thermal proxied 2 barracks behind Cyril's natural. Like, behind the mineral line. Cyril didn't scout it, and he still lost. Or you thermal still lost. Like, I mean, as far as proxies go, like, if you proxy 2 barracks behind the mineral line of the Zerg doesn't see it, and you still fail to win. Like, that's not on you thermal that he, like, is bad or something. It's just, like, Cyril's that good. Like, he doesn't care. He doesn't even need to scout it, so...
Cyril is insane.
Yeah, so, I mean, Cyril is the favorite to win the tournament. So we pick Neeb and Cyril. Moving on.
Nice.
GSL results. Okay, there were some upsets. There were some results I didn't expect. So...
So many green there.
Yeah, green is very popular in Korea. We're actually lucky we didn't get more green. You know, it could have been, like... It could have been... Where is it? It could have been 8 Protoss. If things went a little different. Okay, so... First thing, Classic Sue. Wait, no, that happened before I did the podcast, I think, yeah, that did happen. Oh yeah, and Trap Innovation happened as well. So, the predictions that I made last week were Parting is going to beat Hurricane. I actually thought Parting is going to cheese Hurricane up, but Hurricane played really solid. Parting did try to cheese, and it did not work. He just kind of got slapped. So Hurricane, I think this might be his first semifinals advancement. I'm not 100% sure. And then we had Hero versus Dark, and I mean, I call Dark winning. I think Dark is really good in whenever the meta is like not his race favored. He just kind of like does his own weird thing, and I feel like he makes the games weird. So even if you wanted to do a 2-base all-in, he just does his own thing and he throws you off. And, well, he walks through Hero 3-0. It was actually pretty one-sided. And then we had the semifinals. Trap beating Classic. Now, this is a big upset. I did not expect this. I think I predicted a 4-1 for Classic. I think Classic is super, super solid. Trap to me is one of those players. He's always that dark horse in the tournament.
He's like a wild card all the time.
Yeah,
like,
all the time.
Surprising, always.
Like he would play a round of 32 and he beats like Innovation, and then he gets to round of 16 and he loses to Lenok. You know, like he always did this, and this is the first time. I mean, he beat Innovation in the semis, in the quarterfinals. Actually, pretty good games. He's the guy that I saw doing the fast 2-base Storm build against Aaron. It's actually pretty cool. I tried it many times. It's really nice. And then now beating Classic. Now, I don't want to take anything away from Trap, but Classic, it started with 3-1. 3-1. And then Classic was just... He was just falling apart. Like, he would forget oracles and they would just die. He would run prisms. There was one game where he ran like 3 prisms into Trap's army. And not even in the middle of the map. He just like ran it while the army was defensive. He played well first 4 games. And then the last 3, you could see he was just like potatoing left and right. He was mismicroing. And I mean, Trap from then on played pretty well. Abused those mistakes. And he actually goes to the finals. Which again, I'm very surprised. From all these results, to me, that's probably the most surprising one. And then we had Hurricane and Dark. And again, I mean, Dark doing his own thing, smashing through Hurricane. I actually like fast forwarded through these games, but honestly, I didn't expect. I actually called the Classic Dark Finals. I did not expect that either Parting or Hurricane are gonna do anything against Dark. If Dark beats Hero, then I think Hero is better than these two guys. Beats him 4-1. Advances to the finals. What are your Yepin? Since again, you probably didn't follow GSL, but
Dark seems pretty solid. So
what stands out to you in terms of results for the whole bracket?
Definitely, Dark will win against Trap, honestly. And what stands out is a classic Trap match. That seemed interesting.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, it's weird. It's still weird. I mean, especially after the first 4 games, it was like what you expect. And actually, the one game Trap won was like a weird base trade where Trap shouldn't have won. So it should have been a 4-0. But, well, there you go. Now, Trap Dark. What are your predictions? Results. Go.
Dark 4-0. Easy.
Okay, so...
I don't trust Trap. I don't know. He's a wild card, but like he'll Dark is...
I think Dark 4-1. I do think maybe Trap takes 1 game, but guys, this is not only first finals for Trap. This is first semifinals for Trap. Like, it's super impressive he beat Classic, and I'm sure he's gonna be pumped. But playing the finals, this is what I mentioned earlier, is different from playing semifinals, is different from playing quarterfinals. I think Trap is really good. Can he beat Dark skill-wise? Yes. Is he going to beat him experience-wise? No, I don't think so. Dark has been in the finals before. He won tournaments. I mean, if you're a Trap and you're looking at this, you're like, damn, he just smashed Hero 3-0. Okay, he smashed Hurricane 4-1. And am I next? And yes, you probably are.
What is Strap's playstyle in TVZ, like in ZVP?
I actually don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because
Like,
that might be something that he might pull off something weird.
well, see, this is the thing. I actually discussed this with Hero and Dark. Yeah, go ahead.
It's best of 7, so anything can happen there. You know, he can try so many playstyles as Protoss. So he might take a game, maybe 2. I don't know.
Like, this is what I discussed with Hero and Dark. Because the 2-base all-ins are so popular, no one's going to be like, wow. Like, Dark is not going to be like, wow, he did a 2-base. You know, he's going to expect that. 100%. Yeah. But if you do a 3-base build, then it's not good. So then, if like it's like 2-base builds are the best, but if you don't do 2-base, you're actually losing the advantage that you have right now in the meta, I feel like. And on top of that, a lot of people might say, well, Trap has so much to research from because, you know, Dark played Hero, Dark played Hurricane. But because of the way that Dark plays, I would say this plays into Dark's hand, where because there's so many matches to research, he can just do more random stuff to throw Trap off, because that's how Dark plays. He's really good macro, but he's going to proxy hatch 3 games in a row if that's what he wants, right? So I think all of that combined, plus just experience from Dark, I'm going to say 4-1. Maybe even a 4-0 if Trap, like, you know, goes really nervous. But I don't see... Like, I did not see Trap beating Classic, but I see even less Trap beating Dark.
That will be a really surprising if Trap would win.
Trap made it to semis in Season 1, lost to Mara there? Okay, well... Still.
Yeah, he did, I remember.
Yeah, still, finals is... I don't know. I just don't see it. Also, Dark puts so much pressure that I think it's going to be hard to keep up because of the finals and all that. So, but we'll see. Overall, 4-1 Dark. JP says 4-0.
Yep.
Okay. Well, Yepin, you can leave now. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. You think I brought a Fortnite gamer to discuss StarCraft II WCS results? Hell no.
It was so too long, you know. I was like, holy shit, I want to play Fortnite.
Now we're gonna talk about the next Fortnite patch. Now we're gonna talk about the dabbing emote, you know. And now we're not gonna talk about get real.
Man, infinite dab is 14 hours now. You can do it for 14 hours. Epic, right?
Wow, that's.
Did you just see what I did there? Epic.
How do I remove that info from my brain? That's wow. Okay. Anyway, Yepin, you're gonna start this one off, okay?
Whoa, no.
I wanted to address this because I am tired of seeing people say this, and I don't know if it's just me. Yepin, should Goliaths be added in StarCraft II, and if so, why? Go.
I don't think that should be in the game, honestly. Like, I don't see that they will fit current meta at all. Like, their role is taken by Cyclones, I think. Like, now with these Cyclones. And I don't see, like, why would you even build Goliath? Like, they have good anti-air, but that's about it, you know? The ground damage was not that good in Brood War.
Okay, so you say that they would not have... Are you saying they would not have used in TVZ or TVP or TVT? Like,
yeah, I don't see them being used at all.
Okay. Now, thank you, Yep. And now I'm going to give my opinion.
Yeah.
Stop fucking asking for Goliaths in StarCraft II! They would be the stupidest unit you can put in the game.
Yeah, right?
Jesus,
so
like,
slow.
I feel like every week I open forums, Terran loses to whoever, and it's like, man, does anyone think if we had Goliaths, that wouldn't happen? No! Goliaths would be the worst unit in Terran army if it got added into StarCraft 2. People need to stop asking this shit and stop suggesting it. It would be the worst fucking unit. Okay? Now, you're like, oh, but why? It seems really good. No! It does not. Okay? What would it actually be good against? Like what? It would not be good against any ground unit, because why would you make Goliath if you can make a tank? Okay, there we go. Ground units fixed. It would not be usable versus ground. Now, how is he going to fare against Cyclone? Cyclone's going to lock on and he's just going to run away. Goliath's going to be like, trying to chase it. It's shit, okay? Against ground units, it's garbage. Probably Landed Viking would beat it. Terrible. Now let's talk about the Goliaths.
Are you serious?
The Goliath's great anti-air. What would you actually kill in the air? Okay? What would you... Void Rays? Who makes those? You can kill Void Rays with anything anyway. Phoenix? They would just lift the Goliaths. Carriers? Are you serious? Who the fuck makes carriers? Like, and then you have Tempest. Do you really think Goliath is gonna beat Tempest? Like, Thor does way better job at those things already. Why would you add Goliath? But now you're like, but wait, BC, there's other matchups. Yeah, I'm sure Goliath would do so well against Broodlords, right? With their 20 range against Goliaths that are derping, and they shoot shitty rockets out of their system. Stop suggesting Goliath in StarCraft II. It's terrible. It would be the stupidest unit in the game. Like, it would not even do well against Mutas, because Thors do really well against Mutas already. You know what would be great against? If there was ever a meta in StarCraft II where the Zerg is splitting Corruptors and peeing on buildings, hey, Goliaths would be great there. Because they are fast, they would, like, kill the Corruptors, and that's about it. They would not outrange Vipers, they would not outrange Broodlords. The Mutas, who makes Mutas? And then in TVT, Thors just do better. Like, they just do better. That's it. So, everyone, please, for God's sake, stop suggesting Goliaths in StarCraft II. It is the worst idea. Please, there's already mods in StarCraft II. You can try that. It is a terrible unit, and it would do terrible in StarCraft II. It's a great unit in StarCraft 1, terrible in StarCraft 2. I hope, for my own mental state's sake, that Blizzard never attempts to add Goliath in StarCraft 2. Never. The worst unit.
You had this insider for a long time.
For a long time, dude. I've seen this for years. For years. What do we mean? Hey, just kick Thors out and just get Goliaths. It's like, how they're literally twice as worse as Thors. They're terrible, dude. Come on. Glass anti-range is 9, but Thors is higher. It's like 11. They would be cheap. Well, you know what else is cheap? Trash. And what does trash do? Nothing. It's trash. That's it. Thank you very much. Goliath's terrible. Okay, so as we're on this topic, would you add any unit in StarCraft II, Yippin? From Brood War.
Definitely. From Brood War, okay. From Brood War?
Like, just copy-paste. To
which race? To Terran or like
any race?
Any unit?
Yeah. You can even name more than one if you want.
Like I like Dark Archon.
Okay.
And even like the Ser caster. How was he called?
Defiler.
Defiler, yeah. They're broken.
Okay.
But other than that.
Okay, so Dark Archon I actually agree with. I think it would be fun to add it. I mean, the thing is, it overlaps. Mind Control, okay, that's fine. The Maelstrom is a really cool ability, but then it's like, it's another ability on top of the Storm and Colossus and Disruptors against Zerg and Terran.
Yeah, like definitely, Protoss would need the nerf if something like that would be added, you know?
I do think it would be a cool unit, but then you have the feedback, which does the same thing, like, well, the feedback. So I'm not sure how that would go, but I think that's a cool idea to add Dark Archon to spice it up. Now, some people suggested Medic. No, I mean, why would you make Medic when you got Medivacs?
Yeah, Medivac is better.
Yeah, it's just better. Like, the thing is, Legacy of the Void is so fast that you actually don't have time to build Medics and then push out with just 3 ranks and then transition into Medivacs. It's like, no, you just go Medivacs. So I don't think that'd be a thing. Wait, what other unit? Oh yeah, you said Defiler, yeah. I think Defiler would be cool, but again, it overlaps.
It overlaps with Infestor, like a lot, I think.
With Viper, I was gonna say, because of the Blinding Cloud.
Yeah,
so,
you're right.
I wouldn't actually mind if they kicked out Vipers and they put in Defilers, but I think they overlap too much in what they do if they have both, if that makes sense.
I thought of Fungal too, because like Defiler had that blood ability too.
Yeah, so it overlaps a little bit, yeah. Now the unit I would add is Science Vessel.
Science Vessel, yeah, you're right. I forgot about it.
I would personally add that, and I actually think it would help with a lot of things that, like, I feel like that's the one unit that actually would help a race in a good way. It would probably need to be adjusted or balanced, rebalanced, whatever, but having the defense matrix for mech units I think is really cool. Irradiate to help against like Broodlord clumps and Corruptors and late game Zerg.
EMP too,
Yeah, EMP, like, because, who uses Ghosts? The thing is, EMP ability can be changed into, like, repair mech ability or something. So...
I would think, like, should be at least Raven be changed, like, his abilities?
Yeah.
Would help.
Yeah, they should have changed the Raven. Like, they should have had the Raven have Interference Matrix, Auto Turret, and Repair Mech.
Mm-hmm.
That's, like, the Shredder Missile is garbage. It's only good in 2 base all-in situations, and that's it.
Against TVP, yeah. TVP.
Like, yeah. But I think, for me, the pick would be Science Vessel, and I like the Dark Archon idea. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I feel like all the other units overlap a lot. Like, Vulture overlaps with Hellion so much.
Mm-hmm.
They do the same thing. They don't have the same abilities, but they do the same thing, so... Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, if you asked me this question, would you change any unit that's already in StarCraft II? Would you change? Well, you said Raven, but what else?
Dude, listen, I had this idea for years, okay?
Yeah.
Thor, listen. Thor gets an upgrade that you need to upgrade at the armory. And you know what it does? It splits up into 3 Goliaths, dude. Like, it just... it's like Transformers. One of his hands becomes... 6 Goliaths. Hand becomes Goliath, legs become Goliath, and then chest you have 2 Goliaths. And then the head is a Widowmine. Honestly, I think, hey, just add Goliath to StarCraft II. Blizzard, just get on this. We've been suggesting this for years. That's the change I would make. Just Goliaths, and keep the Thor in the game so I can make Thors push out, and then I transform them into Goliaths and just kill everything. Literally everything in the game. Yeah.
So salty. It's insane.
No, I'm not salty. Salty is the wrong word. I am, what am I? I don't know.
Toxic towards Goliaths. Poor Goliaths. They did such a good job in
they're
Brood
trash.
War. You're trashing them.
They did
Poor
good.
guys.
Wait, they did a good job in Brood War? Have you seen them move in Brood War? Half of the time they're running into the walls. I don't know about that.
But it's in Brood War. It was different. They're
but
broken.
What would I change in StarCraft II units? I don't know, like... I've talked about this in the past on the other videos, but I think it's like too complicated question as far as
there's
what...
so many.
Yeah, there's like so many changes, and it's like if you change one thing, you kind of need to make up for it, so you need to change something else. So I think in order to change a unit in StarCraft II, you would need to rebalance at least a couple of more units, so... yeah, that's my answer. Now, moving into the next question. Is StarCraft III going to come soon or ever? Yep, and go. What do you think?
I don't want to be depressing, but I don't think that Blizzard has any ideas for StarCraft II right now. They are aiming for like Overwatch and Hearthstone and those kind of games. And
Wait.
On mobile.
Don't you have... Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
On phone.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't you have phones because you're not mentioning mobile games?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sad about it, but yeah, that's the world we live in,
Yeah, so...
That's my opinion.
Okay, so I've talked about this many times on stream because people ask, they're like, hey, do Do you know anything about it? Like, is StarCraft 3 gonna come out? Do you think they're gonna make it? Are they going to make it eventually? Maybe.
Maybe. In like 20 years, 15 years, maybe.
The thing is, they're probably not gonna make it in the next 5+ years. Yeah. And when I say probably, I mean like 98% no. The reason for that is not necessarily because it wouldn't do well. I'm sure if StarCraft 3 came out, I mean, anyone who's played Brood War or StarCraft 2 would buy it, right? Like, if you're StarCraft... Like, people in StarCraft 2, once they play StarCraft 2, they're StarCraft 2 fans, right? They might not play it still. They might not watch it every tournament, but they're going to tune in every once in a while. They still like to keep up. So I think if it got released, it would sell a buttload of copies. New people would try it out because RTS genre is not, super mainstream right now. But that's not a point. The reason why I don't think Blizzard is going to release StarCraft 3 is because of the fact that StarCraft 2 is doing well. Why would you invest money into something else, aka StarCraft 3, in a genre where you don't really make a lot of money, right? Like, StarCraft is probably the least earning game. That doesn't mean they're losing money on it, but it's not gonna be, selling card packs and skins that are gonna pop off. So StarCraft is just doing too well. I mean, it's the #1 RTS by far. I mean, there's the second RTS, I don't even know what it is, but it's not even close. There's no competition. There's no need for it because of it. If there were a lot of RTSs coming out and they're super popular, maybe Blizzard is like, oh, look at that, let's make a StarCraft 3. But that would also mean that RTS genre is more popular, which is not. Like, it's not mainstream anymore. So, yeah, for the reason that StarCraft 2 is just doing really fine, viewership-wise, player-wise, and some people might, the dumb people might be like, dead game. The game is almost 10 years old, and it pulls tens of thousands, sometimes 100,000 viewers if it's like a big WCS playoff over, on one stream, and then you have this language and then that language. And Blizzard probably sees it as a kind of like a safety net, Yeah, they're selling some skins, some co-ops, some commanders. They're not investing too much money. They don't have developers working on it full time because they're not making new content. They're probably losing a bit of money on tournaments, but I think it's kind of like a trade-off, keeping, a franchise of, 20+ years, StarCraft 1, alive, and fans are happy, and it gives them a lot of good publicity. So they're doing it, but because of all those things, they're not making them be like, oh man, StarCraft 3. But if RTS genre, maybe some developers come up with some RTS games and they're really good and there's interest in RTS games again, maybe, but probably not in, I would say, at least 5 years. At least. I would actually even go as far as say that we are more likely to get StarCraft 2 remastered before we get StarCraft 3. And I mean, obviously
that will be then the long time, at least 15.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but that's what I mean. That's like a good thing, but also a bad thing. If they would say in 3 years, hey, we're announcing StarCraft 2 remastered, that automatically means you're not going to see StarCraft 3 for a very long time.
The thing is, why do you want even a remaster? Like, the game looks still so good, even though it's so old. But I think like StarCraft feels really nice, even like smooth compared to other RTS games. I don't know, StarCraft is still the best.
It does.
One of the best. Like, and it's 10 years old and it's still looking so good. Like, some guys can't even run it on epic what is graphics.
Yeah,
it's just too much for them.
I do agree. A lot of people don't have PCs to run StarCraft in Ultra even today, even though it's like 9 years old. But I mean, I just don't see it happening. That's pretty much what it comes down to. Olimar says, serious question: what modern game design / production platforms make new things possible in StarCraft 3?
That's basically what I said.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, it's sad. Like, obviously, would I want StarCraft 3? Hell yeah. Like, I would play it right now. But realistically, it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna happen. Not to mention, which is what I discussed in the previous podcast, Blizzard is, or Activision, I don't know how you want to call them, is moving into mobile gaming. They're moving into money, and that's like. Also, we're way more likely to see StarCraft on mobile as either like arcade app, like not like a real strategy. Although that might be possible, like Command and Conquer. But I think we're more likely to see like a arcade app on the phone for StarCraft II. Which, by the way, I would not be opposed to it. I think that would be really cool.
Be cool.
Yeah, I think that would really be cool, and that's something I would actually love seeing. A lot of people I feel like would be negative about it, like, oh my god, StarCraft on mobile, but it's not necessarily replacing StarCraft 3, because if they want to do StarCraft 3, they will do it. But yeah, so yeah, rip StarCraft 3, at least rip soon, maybe in 5, 6, 10 years, or if StarCraft like 2 dies completely, which I don't think
I would say like
happen.
10 plus. Like even Brood One didn't die for so long. I don't know. It's still going.
Yeah, and I also think that if they do, I also think if they do go for StarCraft 3, they're probably gonna stop supporting WCS, so they can use that money to develop the game.
Yeah, true.
But
They
yeah,
could totally kill the tournaments, though, all of them.
well, yeah, that's the thing. It will also split the community. And, I mean, it also split the Brood War community, but the Brood War community is much smaller compared to StarCraft 2. So, I mean,
Did you hear
StarCraft...
about the game, by the way? Like that, the StarCraft game that should have been made, like this, the FPS?
Yeah, I talked about it last time. In-depth, cutie style. Okay, so, yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, this leads into the next topic quite nicely. The future of the RTS genre. So this is something that, again, we discuss a lot of on stream, and people ask me about this very often, which is why it's on the topics. Actually, I think someone suggested to discuss this on Discord. So what do you think about future RTS genre? Like where it's heading? Is it just going to disappear? Do you think it's going to come back? What do you think?
I don't think it will disappear. Like, I don't know if you watched the E3, like, last time. There was, like, a lot of RTS games that looked pretty nice, honestly. Like, these Songs of Conquest, I don't know if you saw it. That looked pretty interesting.
Wait, it's an RTS?
Yeah, it's an RTS game. I'll put it in the Twitch. Like, there were so many RTS games there on E3. Even, like, Age of Empires is coming, like, right? The 4th one, and the Remastered too.
Yeah. Actually, I haven't seen that, but I'll actually check it out later because I don't want to. I got copy striked on the last podcast. I had to cut stuff out because I was showing
okay.
But I actually only saw the Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition.
Yeah.
Which actually looks really good, by the way. Like,
it looks good.
If you guys haven't seen it, like, it looks really nice, and it might actually cause me to finally do the jump and play some Age of Empires 2. What actually turned me off from Age of Empires 2 is the lag, the latency. It's insane. It's peer-to-peer connection. So
yeah, also the Warcraft 3 Reforged is coming. I forgot that.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so future of RTS genre. What is your?
I don't think it will die. I think there will be still games being made because a lot of developers love RTS games. I think so.
What do you?
I only hope they will be better. It will get much bigger audience, you know.
Okay, now
because right now games like Fortnite, League of Legends, and stuff like that, it's taking all the viewership. But yeah, maybe somehow, someone will make the game a little more people in. I don't know.
Okay, I have a $1,000, actually $1 million question for you.
Yeah.
What does RTS genre need to become #1 again?
Oh. Well, you talked about it once, but I don't want to take your opinion. You should just say what you think.
Okay, so you share that opinion.
Yeah, I'm sharing that opinion. Like,
Okay.
it needs some reforging. Go for it.
Reforging. I see what you did there. Okay, so like Yepin already said, Warcraft 3 Reforged is coming. I think Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition looks really good. Again, check it out. The screenshots that I've seen and like the gameplay videos look very smooth. Like the thing is, it kept the Age of Empires 2 kind of feeling, the way the units move and everything, but it looks super good. Now, the problem with that is it's not going to attract new people, right? Like, that's the thing. Warcraft 3 Reforged, StarCraft II Remastered, if it comes out, it's not going to attract new people. At best, it will make the old people come back, play it, and then quit. So, this is something, like Yepit said, I've discussed this with him, I've discussed this on stream, but I finally making it official, baby. I talked about this, like I said, and I think my opinion on this is RTS right now is where many other genres were in the past, in this kind of like place where you're an RTS, you're collecting stuff, you're building armies, and that's it. And it's like, okay, that's super cool. And then 5 years down the line, it's like, okay, we're also an RTS, we also collect stuff, and we also build armies, and you attack. And people are like, okay. And then 5 years after that, it's like another RTS, and the same thing happens, and people are just not excited anymore. It's like, we've seen it. Like, that's great. Your units look different. You're not mining wood, you're mining, food, or you're mining potatoes, or you're mining gold, or your minerals, but you're doing the same thing as all these other RTS games. You're not doing anything different. It's all the same. So, and I feel like this is a thing that FPS games suffered as well. They were all the same. They were all, you get a weapon, you shoot, and then the round resets, like Counter-Strike, or I don't know, like another shooter where it's like a battlefield kind of feeling. And I did think that FPS games were really popular at one point, but it kind of dipped as well for a while there. And I think what revived FPS games was Battle Royale. And Battle Royale is a shooter, but it's kind of like changed a little bit. It's given, something new, something fresh. And it became from first-person shooter to maybe a third-person, like Fortnite, or PUBG can also go third-person, right, and first-person. So they kind of changed it up, and you have a genre that, FPS was never doing bad, don't get me wrong, but, Counter-Strike always did well, and probably other games like on consoles, but, consoles. We're talking about PC here.
Real games.
Real games, yeah, there we go. FPS is just Counter-Strike and maybe one or two more, and that's it. And then when Battle Royales came out, that's like the thing they needed. That's the new thing they needed. They needed to remaster their own genre. And I think that RTS games are in the same exact thing for the past 30 years. Nothing's changed. Guys, they're exactly the same. Literally, look at the RTS 30 years ago. Exactly the same. I played Crush, Kill, and Destroy yesterday. It's exactly the same. You mine a resource, you make an army, and you kill your opponents. That's it. That's the gameplay. Whether you're playing StarCraft II now or 30 years ago, it is the same exact goal, same exact thing. So, one of the games that I love using as an example for this is They Are Billions. I don't know if you guys played They Are Billions. Basically, the game is a single-player game. It's an RTS game, and you start out with a town hall, and you have a couple of different resources, and you're surrounded by zombies. So what you're supposed to do is clear the zombies around you, and then the zombie waves are coming, which you're supposed to defend. And if any of the zombies touch your buildings, they get infested and you die. Now, this game is the closest we've had to some game doing something revolutionary for the genre. And I commend them for it. They took the RTS and it's not even multiplayer, it's a single player game. And it was, I played it when it came out, and it was so refreshing because it was challenging, but it was challenging in a different way. You mined resources, but you mined them in a different way. You needed to get to them, right? They're not free for you to expand. You're not fighting against the other player. It was a completely different approach. It is a survival RTS game. And I'm sure, there's someone like, oh, there's this RTS from 2001. It's also like, no, it's not. Okay, if it was like that, it would be popular, but it's not. It's probably trash. Now, what they did well is they made something new, and that's what RTS genre needs. Now, I'm not saying that all the games should turn into their billions where you're fighting survival in a single player game, but something needs to happen. Now, I do think that their billions was really popular at one point, like really, really popular. And in my opinion, and I'm not a developer, I don't have experience like they do, like the companies do, so I might be completely wrong on this. But me as a player, as a consumer of RTS games, I love playing their billions, and I played it for like 3 months every single day. But then, at the end of the day, I was fighting against AI. There was no... Yeah, there was a challenge, but it's an AI. And I really wish, and I still do, that they added a co-op their billions, where, Yepin and I can play. Maybe we spawn from the exactly same spot. Maybe we spawn on the other sides of the map, and we're playing into the same game, trying to develop our own town and trying to get to one another. And then when we make
that'll be so cool.
Yeah, right. Like when we make a passage towards one another, we can help each other out, and the waves can be harder. The waves can be like Yepin is getting attacked by a massive army. You need to aid him. Co-op. But even further, why was there never multiplayer their billions? I might be completely off on this, but I don't get it. Why not make their billions one-on-one, where you keep the gameplay exactly the same? Don't change anything. Don't rebalance anything. Keep it exactly the same. Except one player's on one side of the map, you're on the other side, and you're playing against one another while having the zombies do exactly the same thing. And you can attack your opponent, but you're also going to get attacked by zombies. I think that exactly, like if they make that, that is what RTS genre needs. Something different, something new, something refreshing. And if they added that today, I would play their billions for hours every day. And imagine if there was a rank system as well. Like you queue up, you meet another guy, different maps, different difficulty. Maybe you can have ranked games for different difficulties, so that it's noob friendly at the same time, right? Or, try hard friendly or pro friendly. You can even make it 2v2.
I love that idea, honestly.
And to me, when I was playing this, I was like, I just, why? Why didn't they do that? There's no way that they made this great game, but they're like, oh man, what do we do next? And everyone is like, I have no idea. I've got nothing. Like,
they just need time,
That's the thing with games these days. You don't have time. You need to ride the wave of hype. Like, and their game was filled with hype. It was actually really popular on Twitch as well and on YouTube, but it kind of lost that wave, I feel like. And
isn't their company like really small, so that's why it was so slow to getting out and stuff? Like they are only now making the single player. Like the campaign.
It is possible, yeah. Which, by the way, I'm going to be playing campaign. It's actually it comes out tomorrow for us right now, so on 18th. So I'm going to be streaming and playing that. Which I saw some of the clips. It actually looks really good. It's not just like your usual, you're defending town and that's it. There's like a parts where you're like controlling one guy through the rooms and stuff like that. So they seem to have done a lot of work on it. Now, again, you might be on point there. They might not have enough people, or maybe they want to do it, but they couldn't do it. I don't know. Again, I am potato. I don't know anything about this.
You're just giving the idea, though.
Yeah.
So if they're watching you, man.
Yeah, I really doubt. But from a programmer point of view, not pro gamer, programmer, how hard is it to just add another player? And I might be so stupid for saying this. I don't know. But as someone who has no idea how programming works, literally not changing anything, just adding another player. That's it. That's it. That's all there is to it. I don't know. And I mean, even at the end of the day, even if it was hard, I feel like that should have been your priority. Because single player, it's cool, right? Like, people love playing single player games. Single player games are still popular, but multiplayer games are what keeps your game alive. There's no single player game that's like, you know, insanely popular these days and people are replaying it over and over. I mean, most people play a game, they finish it, and that's it. So,
yeah, true.
Yeah. Now, I went on a rant for their billions a little bit, but just because I think they have such a great idea, and I wish they expanded on it. I don't know, again, I don't know why. Maybe, like you've been saying, they don't have enough people. Don't know. But I would love if they did that. I think that'd be such a great idea. And
I think too.
Yeah. Now, so they're the company, and again, I'm sure there were other games that did something different. I haven't seen or played every single game out there in the world. Now, that's one example how you can kind of redo the RTS genre in a different light. So, another suggestion that I gave, or two suggestions, is take an RTS game, make it a one-on-one, right? Like StarCraft II, Warcraft III, whatever, Age of Empires, but then have it somehow collide with the other genres. Have it... Sorry about that. Make it collide with other genres. So what I mean by that is, have one guy do the macroing, and then make it like an RTS MOBA game, where you're making units for, like, waves that are going into the enemy, like literally like MOBA map, except you're macroing, you're making the units, and then you have 3-4 other guys controlling the heroes on that map. RTS genre needs something like that. Kids these days that are gonna buy games, they're not gonna buy RTS games. They're just not. Like, they want the FPS, they want the MOBAs, right? What another thing they could do, same exact concept, except with FPS. Where one guy or even two people are macroing, making units, making buildings, and then you have like you send a squad of 3, 4, 5 FPS players go down on the map and play literally an FPS game against the other team while the people are macroing. Now, I know that there's been examples of games similar to this, but in order for something like this to pop off, a mainstream company needs to do it. Like, let's be honest. Yes, it's possible for an indie company or like a medium small company to make a game and it explodes. Sure, but it obviously has way more success chance if a well-established company does it. And I don't know what the correct formula is. I don't know what the correct way to approach this, to do this. But honestly, I think either something like their Billions or something like this, where it is an RTS, but it's different. It's refreshing. And in order to succeed in the gaming market these days, if you want your genre or game to be huge, you need to cater to the children. And that's just how it is. So
I think the key is to make it free, and then just go with the microtransaction. Because a lot of games got big because of it, League of Legends and Fortnite, they're big because they are free,
Well, yeah, that's not a problem. That's not a problem with RTS games. They're hard to monetize. So by having skins and by having it mixed with an FPS or a MOBA, you can sell so many skins right off the bat, right there. So yeah, I honestly like. That's my opinion. Again, I might be completely wrong, but I just don't think that creating a Herpaderp 4 game or Herpaderp expansion is gonna make anything happen in the RTS genre. If StarCraft 3 comes out, one day, is it gonna become mega popular? I mean, maybe, but that's because it's StarCraft, not because it's an RTS. Or at least the big part of that is because it's StarCraft. Same thing, if Warcraft 4 gets released, it's not going to be gigantic RTS and RTS genre is going to be alive. It's going to be because it's Warcraft 4. So I do think it needs some changing, and I do also think that RTS genre is probably the hardest to change in any way compared to other genres. But you know, FPS did it, so you never know. You never know. Okay, any final words for this topic, JP?
No, I think you concluded everything.
Yeah. So again, we talked about this with Yeppen, and
Yeah. You have really great ideas. If only someone could hear it.
If only someone would listen. Yeah, well, okay, so another thing that I wanted to mention, this is something that a lot of companies make mistake of. And that's why their Billions was successful. They're like, okay, I want to make an RTS game. I'm a huge fan of RTS games, right? And they find people for it, they find the sponsors, and they're like, okay, what do you want to do? And they're like, I want to make a game, okay? And they're like, okay, I'm listening. And they're like, it's 1-on-1, okay? You mine gold, okay? And then you make units. And it's like, but that's every RTS game ever. And you're fighting against Warcraft 3, Age of Empires, and StarCraft II. Like, you're not going to break into that market by doing the exactly same thing as they are. And this is like same thing like real life stuff, right? If you're making a product for real life, you can't just copy a better product and do the exactly same thing, because it's going to be worse. It just will be worse. You got to come up with something unique. Like, that's what's going to actually succeed, or at least have a chance of succeeding. So, yeah. Okay. Yeppin, you are the lore master. Okay?
Yeah.
As am I. Okay, I played campaign once. I already forgot 80% of it. But this is the time when where you're gonna go on a rant, okay?
No.
So I have two questions for you.
Go.
First question. If StarCraft III would come out, what would you want from the campaign? Where does the story go from Kerrigan becoming whatever she became?
Like, the thing is, I don't think it is like it can continue. I think like it was the end.
You think it's just
Like,
done?
what would you want from Kerrigan? Like, she did a lot already. Like, it's just Jim Raynor and they went so much together.
Oh my god, dude! I just got nerd chills. Okay, keep going.
Why nurtures? What?
Keep going. I'll tell you after.
Okay. Like, they would need to make completely new story. Maybe with Artanis and the Avarak, maybe those characters would be involved. But like Kerrigan, Jim, and those, I think it's done. And they could like use maybe Matt Horner and those new introduced characters in StarCraft II. But I don't think they have so much fans behind them.
Yeah.
Jim had, or Kerrigan had, or everyone, you know. Like,
that's the problem.
Yeah, they would. I think the way would be to maybe include some of the characters already in the game, but just make an entire new storyline, complete, like refresh it, reboot it entirely.
Okay,
That's
so
my opinion.
this is my. I actually agree with you, but it's like the characters. I mean, who cares about that Matt guy, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're losing the main characters. That's the problem. So. This is a Blizzard, hire me right now. StarCraft 3 begins. Jim is lonely. Kerrigan is, I don't know what she's doing. She's like fixing stuff, or she's like floating as that yellow thing. I don't know. And Kerrigan is like the most powerful thing right now, right?
Yes.
So,
She's
Kerrigan is so powerful. She's like trying to do good, but she realizes that she hates it, and she realizes that Jim is unhappy. And what's a game without a good love story? So, what Kerrigan does is she reverts everything that happened until the point where Mengsk drops her off the planet. And StarCraft III story begins from when Minsk sends Nova to the planet where she gets destroyed by the Zergs. And she, like, grabs a knife and she fucking stabs him in the eye. Or, you know, something like that. And... Or like you start as Nova and you know what's gonna happen. And you have to change the destiny. Like, you have to change the path.
Everything you did for 20 years of story, you will just remove, you know?
Yes!
People would be so mad. What do you mean?
Dude, that would be so... Not Nova, Kerrigan. Not Nova, Kerrigan. I said Nova.
Kerrigan.
Dude, that would be so cool. Can you imagine that? And you're like getting these, like, flashes through the campaign of what happened and what you did with the Zerg army. But there's consequences. She's not completely normal. She constantly has flashes of her being Kerrigan. And she has these evil thoughts and she's fighting her demons. And she's so connected to the swarm that she can still hear it. And then from then on, I mean, hey, oh my god. Where's my paycheck, Blizzard?
Man, imagine that this would happen. She would travel to the alternate universe where the orcs and everything...
No, she just... No, she just...
I know what you mean. You want to just revert time, but
yeah.
Imagine this. Like, she would travel to another dimension, then I would be like, okay. And there would be new races and stuff.
Okay.
Completely new StarCraft III would come, you know?
See, that's why I'm going to be hired by Blizzard and you're fired by Blizzard. Because by doing that, you lose the main characters. And that's the problem. But this way, you get to keep the characters. So, instead of Zeratul dying, you can save him.
But the thing is that would affect the characters. They would not be the same person.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but
everything changes.
The character, you know.
But it doesn't matter. People are still connected to the characters. It doesn't matter.
Like, I like the idea. It would be like...
Oh my god, dude!
It really
dude,
writing,
I should start writing this already. Jesus. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna write down
everything so easily, but it's not that easy, you know.
It's really so easy, dude. It all starts from an idea. This is the idea.
Yeah.
Funny idea, but I would want a completely different characters. Well, see, that's the thing. Like, that's the thing. I'm like, realistically, if you would go back in time and. Like, Kerrigan says to Jim that she doesn't trust Minsk or she found something on him and whatever. Some characters you would never meet them. Like, you just wouldn't meet them because the timeline changes. So some of the characters that were trying to kill you, maybe they're not gonna try to kill you because you're not doing what you did in the previous one. Or maybe some characters that helped you, you're gonna rub them the wrong way, so you're gonna see the evil side of whatever character. Or you would make alliances with the characters you didn't previously, but Kerrigan knows. Or maybe she doesn't know. Maybe she just reverts and it goes on. But Kerrigan knows the characters, or at least has, some opinion of them. And it goes from there. I don't know. For me, that'd be hype.
I think that would be cool. It would be good. But yeah, like I said, it needs a good story behind. They would need to come up with a really good story.
Dude.
I like it. It would be a good refresh, I think, of the series.
Especially because not many people liked StarCraft II. Yeah. I mean, it started off, and then the longer it went, it kind of went downhill a little bit. At least that's what most people think about StarCraft II. People prefer, I think, StarCraft I campaign. Or maybe you can even play as from different point of view.
Like from Meng's point of view, you would be evil?
I mean, maybe not necessarily Mengsk, but just someone else's point of view. Like, so a character...
Aemon's point of view, right? It would be hybrid.
From someone's point of view that's like in the campaign, but he's always around the main characters. So you kind of see it from the side. I don't know, but I think there's possibilities there.
Boring, I mean, only like Alarek was sport, maybe.
What about? I'm a scat man.
What? Which one is that?
Statman.
It's Statman. Oh, yeah. So
I mean, but the reason why I'm saying this is because you said that they knew, like, the story is over. So
Yeah,
I think this is one way to kind of...
Reboot.
And I actually, I mean, I don't know, maybe like die-hard campaign fans would be like, get out of here with that, you know? But I think this would be pretty cool.
Yeah, movies using this like idea a lot. They just like, if they want to reboot the movie, they do this. But
Wait, the mini chief says the problem is she goes back in time and changes her story. Aemon is still a thing, but that's the thing. It doesn't have to be everything's completely changed, but maybe they take a different approach in whatever they do. They make different allies, and I think that's kind of the point of it all. And maybe, why not? Maybe she goes back in time, and because she's selfish, Aemon ends up killing everyone. And point of the story is don't build time machines. Now, another thing that you mentioned is something that I also agree with. If they would release... I don't know if I would I would go as far as say to make the new campaign from the point of view of Alarak, but I would like to see like a DLC, like the Nova campaign from Alarak point of view.
Yeah, that would be nice, honestly.
Yeah, so I would like to see that, and they did say they're gonna release these mini new DLCs, but I'm guessing they didn't sell a lot of Nova ones to justify it, so they kind of just stopped. I mean, okay, Delta says still prefer the prequel idea of it all came to be. I mean, sure, I would love that as well. Why not? Like prequel to StarCraft 1, I guess. To be like StarCraft 3 campaign.
Yeah, there is so much lore behind StarCraft.
Yeah, so that's...
They could use a lot.
Yeah, so that's another thing. I mean, we are talking about like possibilities and what people would want for StarCraft 3 campaign if it would happen, but... I think these like mini character stories, I would much prefer to see a DLC than full campaign, because playing a DLC for like 6-8 hours as Alarak, or from his point of view, sure, but doing a couple of days from Alarak, I mean, do I care that much? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, well, it was a good little talk. Got a, you know, at least $20 idea right there. Now, let's move into the next one, which kind of plays off of that a little bit. Kind of, but not really. Hybrid as a playable race. What do you think?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, adding another race to the 3 that are already in the game, it would be so hard to balance out, you know? Like, there was already 4 races in Warcraft 3, and...
Well, we all know how that ended.
Yeah, that was terribly balanced. And now
what do you mean? There were 3 races in Warcraft 3: human, night elf, and orcs, right?
Yeah, and they were unexisted.
Isn't that like a campaign thing? Never seen it in multiplayer in my life. So yeah, you would like to see hybrids?
I don't know. I would rather see the game being balanced as it is now than adding a new race to it.
I think yeah, it would be hard to balance. It would be very, very hard to balance. But I mean, at this point, like honestly, if I know that they're not going to release StarCraft 3, which again, I don't think they will release StarCraft 3 anytime soon, I'll say F it. You know, like make a DLC for $10 and put in hybrid race in StarCraft 2. Why not? Like, what's the worst thing that can happen? Well, I mean, it can ruin the game, but...
I love how you see everything so easily. Put it for $10.
I mean, but the thing is, like... It's... okay, it would be a super risky move. But would I like to see hybrids added to StarCraft 2? Yes. Do I think it would be balanced? No.
No.
Do I think it would ever be balanced after that? Probably no. Balancing 4 races would be very hard. Do I think it would be good for the game? I mean, it would, at least initially. after that, I don't know how it would play out. It depends how imbalanced it would be. Kill the game for an experiment? Well, you gotta take a risk sometimes. But again, I don't think it would ever happen, like adding it into StarCraft 2, because Blizzard is too safe of a company to do that, especially to a product, aka StarCraft 2, that's, safe. Like, they're not taking any risks.
Yeah. I would rather want, like, have more, like, patches more frequently, like at least one per 2 months or something. I don't know.
Well,
something is happening.
I would actually like patches in StarCraft 2, like every 3-4 months, but not balance. Like I would like design changes. Like you play a season without mules, without chrono boost, without inject, and then you play a season without, with I don't know, like spellcasters having half of the energy. Like I would like to see that kind of design changes that completely change the way the game is played.
So you took it from like maybe co-op, that there is this mutation, so we would want that to be included in the season.
Not that extreme. I mean,
not from mutation, but like.
I mean, this is more from like honestly, this is more from like Fortnite. Like they change it up completely
all the time, yeah.
And I mean, they're doing well. Like, pro players are not happy, but pro players don't make you money. If you're a company, so.
But Fortnite is made for for the kids, and like for.
I mean that's true as well.
Players.
But...
And do you want to make StarCraft being like casual or for the pro players or for the competitiveness?
I mean,
why do you like StarCraft for the competitiveness, right? Fortnite is competitive. It's a competitive game. It's not that competitive, in my opinion. Because of the patches and changes all the time.
Why not add like a mode where it changes every 3 months and it's next to the ranked ladder? It's also ladder, but it's different ladder. Why not?
Yeah, like I would like change. I would like something fresh. Like,
it's different content and it's like a minimum amount of work, right? Like you just change values on units or you mix in abilities or something like that. But yeah, like Tavern Brawl, except it would be not, every single unit change. It would be a design change, whether it's on economy or something.
I really like the idea. Like that would make the game really fresh, and you would feel that it's something different that you already played.
Yeah, and then you keep the one-on-ones. People can play one-on-ones, but I think this would be very good. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be like Troll, like suddenly nukes dropping in the map. It can be very serious. It's just different way of playing it. Like maybe all the abilities cost 25% energy more. Maybe, I don't know, every single unit in the game's range is reduced by 1.
Yeah, people would need to adapt, playstyle. I would like that. Like, that's really nice idea.
But that's why it would be, a 3-month long thing or 4 months.
Yeah. So people can change their playstyle.
Yeah. And then at the end of it, you can have like a tournaments organized to see who's the best player of Season 1, whatever you want to call it. Like you can give it a cool name and so on. Like WCS is for real thing. You can call it whatever else you want. So I don't know. I think it'd be cool. But hybrid. Okay, to end it off, hybrid in StarCraft 3. I mean, why not?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I would rather change the 3 races a little than adding the.
The thing is, I don't think they will. Like they might take out a unit, put in a unit, but that's it. I would kind of.
They don't, like you said, they don't want to risk it. Like Starcraft is their safe bet, so.
Yeah, so.
They don't want to like.
I personally would like to see hybrids, but is it gonna happen? StarCraft 2, no, but maybe in StarCraft 3, we'll see.
Maybe. Yeah.
Do you think StarCraft 2 as player base big enough to split the scene into Mutation 1 and WCS 1? Well, why not? It's you're mixing apples and oranges, I think here. It's like saying they shouldn't have team games because it's splitting the one-on-one scene. It's not. People who play 2v2s don't really play one-on-ones. So, yes, there will be players that move from one-on-ones because they find it too stressful or boring. Like, I mean, I would play those kinds of mutations or whatever you want to call them, brawls in StarCraft 2. Would I ditch 1-on-1? No. Would I play a lot of the new thing? Yes. But I would play more StarCraft. And maybe people that got bored of the meta and quit, maybe they play that. It's like a fresh StarCraft. It's completely new. And I mean, I would.
Man, if there was these mutations, I would do only mutations. I would like delete the 1v1s that are right now, because I think they will be more enjoyable.
Yeah,
even for pro players, because they can adapt, they can find new strategies, they can completely renew their playstyle. So like right now, the meta is so settled that I don't think it will change ever.
Like
so,
the meta and the builds change, but it's
but
not
only
big.
A little.
Yeah, it's not big changes. Like I mean, imagine if they just dropped it like tomorrow. This thing is coming out. You don't have macro mechanics like they tested in Legacy of the Beta. That's it, and they just let it play. Like don't balance it, don't do anything, just let it play.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. Because it's not gonna break the game in any way, because it's a different thing from 1-on-1s. It doesn't matter which race is broken in it because it's not the official thing. But players are gonna put in the time to figure out the best ways to play it and so on. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, the next topic we'll be discussing is, should we be able to veto the matchups on the ladder? Bring back showing, or also, should we, this is something I added to this as well, should we bring back showing MMR / slightly favored thing that we had in Wings of Liberty? What do you think?
I don't like the first thing that you can pick only your matchup you want to play. I would maybe do it in like unranked, you know, like if you want to try some new build or something, you just like uncheck the race you don't want to play, and you will play there. But the ladder is supposed to be competitive.
Okay,
you know?
but why?
Because the ladder should be competitive. You should not like dodge the games you don't want to play. You know, it's like an easy way out only. Right?
Okay, so that's my opinion. Okay, this is great because this is the first topic we have a disagreement on. So this
different
is like
opinions.
Yeah, different opinions.
And,
yeah, not disagreements.
And even the MMR slight favorite thing, I would not put it back in because people would play differently if they saw that the opponent is better. You know.
Okay, did you play during Wings?
Yeah, I played.
Okay, so first I'm going to talk about that because that's like the shorter version.
Yeah.
I am 100% for not necessarily showing exact MMR, but at least bringing back slightly favored or unfavored or whatever that happened in Wings. Why? Because you face so many barcodes these days, I don't know if I'm playing against the same guy or no. And sometimes it happens that I play 8 games in a row and it's 5 times the same noob guy that's like 500 MMR lower than me, and then the 6th game I play against the barcode that's like 1000 MMR higher, and I didn't know. And adding slightly favored or unfavored would fix that without breaking anything. It would not reveal who the person is. You would just know if the player you're playing against is the same guy like last game. And not even necessarily, you know, because it might be slightly favored, but might be a different guy. But at least you will know if he's around same MMR, if he's better than you, if he's weaker than you, so you can adapt your strategy as the game starts. That's why I'm up for this, and I don't think it would have any negatives to it. Like, there's no negatives if it showed slightly favored.
I would rather like have no barcodes in the game. Like,
well, yeah, I mean,
denied, and then like after the game you can see who you played against. That you would have like the anonymous mode or something. I don't know. Like it's maybe in Fortnite. I take it from there. Like you can block your name, but after the game you can see who was it, like who the player was.
I actually don't like that
like
at all.
Yeah,
no, because it takes out the personality completely. Like, look at it from viewer / streamer point of view.
Wait, how is it better for like when you play Barco?
It's not better, but having it completely removed makes it so that you're playing against Zerg or Protoss or Terran. You never know who you're playing against. So if you're a viewer or streamer, you're just doing this mindless spam of games without knowing.
No, but you can see the name after the game, so you know you played against.
But after the game. But it's the same thing with barcodes. I can see who I played against after the game, but it takes away the excitement.
No, but you never know who the barcode was. That's the even worse, you know.
Yeah, you do on Unmasked.
Yeah, but sometimes Unmasked don't work, you know.
Yeah, but
there's so many barcodes now. I don't know.
I don't know.
Is that there is so many stream snipers, and that could like even stream sniper if there was no barcode. So this would at least somehow fix the issue.
But they would just look at your stream to see if it's you.
Yeah.
I don't know
how to fix this issue. It's just so complex.
Okay, so you're against it. I am definitely for the slightly favored thing. I think it would. There was like a charm to it when I played Wings, like knowing like opponent. I don't know what the exact terms were, but like heavily favored. I'm like, oh, this is someone good. Like I gotta try my best, right? And then if I see it's an even match, I'm like, okay, this guy's around my MMR, so you know he's the amazing player. You know, but yeah, so I can kind of go more prepared or less prepared. Maybe this is because I'm streaming. I don't know, but it's just something that I enjoyed a lot in.
But isn't like why you should give a heads up? You know, the game should give you a heads up. You should never know who you are playing against. This is the thing. You know, well, I don't know. I don't like.
But this doesn't tell you who you're playing against.
But if you're playing ladder, you should always try your hardest. So why do you need something like that? You know, at least that's my opinion. Like when I play ladder, I try my hardest to get to do my best. You know, not that. Oh, this guy is slightly purple, so I need to play my hardest right now. Already, because so I can fuck up. You know, I don't like that thing.
Because if I play against a guy that's way lower ranked than me, I would rather do a safe build than aggressive build. If I play against someone that's much better than me, I would rather take a risk than play a standard game.
That's the thing that you would rather cheese against better players because they're scared. But why? Like,
not necessarily. I didn't say cheese.
Yeah, but you would play more differently because you already know that he's better than you.
Yeah, so you would play more aggressive to try and do damage. And if you're playing against a lower ranked, you would play defensive.
I think most of the people would be played defensively if he's better than you because they will be scared or something. I don't know. I think people.
Yeah, but that's fine. But that's the thing. That's where. That's the same thing like when you go into a tournament. You know who you're facing. So it helps you prepare for tournament as well at the same time.
Tournaments are different than ladder. Ladder should be there to.
Yeah, but but the strategies are adjusted. Like if I play at WCS qualifiers and if I play against a 5k MMR Zerg or Cyril, I'm not going to use the same strategy against those two.
Yeah, true.
Like and it's the same concept of slightly favored. I'm not going to do the same strategy against someone that's much lower than against someone that's much higher. I mean, again, this is matter of opinions. This is not like right or wrong.
But the thing is that you are the streamer, so you faced it differently than me, Potato Master, you know? Like, I never had those issues, you know? So...
I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I try...
different point of view.
I try, like, extra harder when it's a better player. And if it's a lower ranked, I'll be like, okay, let's, do a Battlecruiser opening, like...
Yes, so you will, like, troll them, but what if you lose?
Not necessarily troll them, just, like... Anyway,
let's try hard. Yeah,
like not as serious. Like I don't need to be as focused. I can, I don't know. Anyway, that's just my opinion. That's just your opinion. That's what we prefer, and that's all. Now the vetoing matchup. So you said no to it because you should like play the game as a full thing, right?
Yeah, I put only on unranked, so you can try what you want. But in ranked, I would like to leave the game as it should be.
Okay, so. I have a different opinion for this as well. Yeah. I think that there should be vetoes for matchups. So if you play, let's say, Protoss, you can veto Protoss versus Zerg, and you only play Protoss versus Terran, Protoss versus Protoss. No, you never play Zerg.
But why? What's the point of the ladder then?
Well, I'll tell you. The point of the ladder is to play the game, which is the whole point of games, is to have fun. So if you're a casual player like Master or Diamond, whatever, and you you know, just play a game for fun. You don't want to be a pro. You're not a pro. You're not competing for GSL. And let's say, I mean, many people have expressed their dislike for TVT. And a lot of people leave games in TVT. So why not just veto TVT and play TVP and TVZ? Where exactly is the harm in that? There's no harm in it. Now, the ladder would need to be redone. So, for example, instead of having, I'm showing you on stream, like instead of having one ladder for everything, you can have your race, whatever here, like let's say Terran, your Terran, and then it has a ranking list, and this one only shows MMR versus Zergs. So let's say these are the players, and they're MMR versus Zerg only. So these are their win rates against Zergs. So the best player against Zergs is Scarlet, and she's a Zerg. And you could have a tab here that opens Zerg players. So you can see only Zerg players versus Zerg. Then you can click Terran, and you can see all the Terrans against Zergs, and so on. So same thing, a different matchup, you click a different thing, and it opens up a top GM against Protoss, and so on. I don't think this would make anything like imbalanced. And your overall rank, by the way, in Grandmaster can be average of your 3 matchups.
I don't know. I just don't like the idea.
So for example, if you don't want to play TVT, you can have, let's say, 6,000 MMR TVP, 6,000 MMR TVZ, and your TVT is like 3,000 MMR. So that averages to 15k. So your overall MMR would be 5k, right? So you would be Master 1 player, even though your TVP and your TVZ are way higher, and your TVT is just garbage. So you have 2 options. A, you either play TVT and unlock that, or B, you just play the matchups you like, and you can get up to 6.5k if you want in TVZ and TVP, but you play the matchups that you love. Or, on the other hand, if you are a pro player, or even if you're a potato player, let's say you have 70% in TVZ, 70% in TVP, but you suck in TVT, you can veto the other 2 matchups and you just play TVTs to improve it. Because I've had this before where, you know, before I became pro player, I would have matchups that I was really bad in, and I played ladder because I didn't know anyone, and then I keep getting, you know, TVZ, and I want to play TVP really badly, and it's just kind of a waste of time.
That's why I said this should be in unranked, but not.
But
in
no
ranked.
one plays unranked.
Yeah, but maybe they would if there was this thing. I don't. Or maybe do another MMR like ladder or something. With your.
But see, this is the.
I wouldn't change the ladder. I think the ladder is okay.
See, this is the thing. This would be splitting the 1-on-1 into 2 if you put it in unranked, because you would just have way less players. Like this is, I mean, these are my like arguments of why it should be added. I don't think it would break anything, honestly. And someone might be like, yeah, but I'm never going to play PVZ or PVT or whatever. But you will. Like, yeah, queue might take longer sometimes if you have matchups vetoed. But you can't be like, well, in top GM, no one's going to play PvP. Well, great. Then they're going to go to a tournament and get trashed because they don't practice PvP. So, yeah. Also, destroy the idea of WCS spots being available from ladder. How? I just told you that the average ladder rank would be from your 3 matchups. Like, you combine the points and then you divide it by 3. That's it. So if you're 7k in TVZ, 7k in TVP, and 7k in TVT, you're 7k MMR player. So nothing changes for top 50 GM. And you would just be able to practice a specific matchup or avoid specific matchup if you don't like it. Like, those are my arguments to it. And I also think that this would not affect pro scene at all because they need to practice all the matchups. Maybe they would have more precise practice, like, you know, player number whatever wakes up and he's like, okay, today I'm going to play only PvP, and he just vetoes the other two and plays PvP. Or even better...
Why do you need ladder for that? Like, you can make someone to play you, you know, or like...
Okay, but what about a 4K MMR player?
4K MMR player, like... Then you can play the unranked, like I said. Like,
but but that's the thing, no one cares about unranked.
Yeah, but it's like you are removing something that is so in the game, in the ladder already. Like, what's the point of playing only two races and 3 races?
But what are you removing exactly?
You are removing your weakness, basically. Like, totally. Like, you are bad in TVZ. Well, I don't want to play it. I will play only 2
but
races.
Why is that an issue?
Because like that's you should be a whole player, you know. You should face the.
Okay.
Like, I don't know.
But for what? We're talking about a 4K player. We're talking about a diamond player. If he vetoes one matchup, what issue is that?
How will he get better if he just vetoes?
But he doesn't. But it's a game.
Problem.
It's a game. Not everyone wants to be better. That's the thing. That's my argument. I don't think anyone who's gold or plat or diamond is like, oh man, I'm gonna get on StarCraft.
I don't think anyone. Yeah, I don't think anyone is playing ladder to have fun. Honestly, like, ladder is fucking stressful. Everyone is playing it to get better, to be competitive, to achieve something. You know, if you want to have fun, play arcades, play team games, play unranked. I don't know. That's for fun, but the ladder should be about achieving something, in my opinion.
Okay, so. Okay, if that's the case, and there's a Bob in, let's say, 4K MMR that has 70% TVZ, 70% TVP, how is it bad if he vetoes those two and plays only TVT to improve? Can
you repeat the question? You kind of broke from.
So I used the first time I used an example of you not wanting to play a matchup, and you said that people want to improve and yada yada, right? So if you go the other route, if you are a player in Diamond, and the only reason why you're in Diamond is because you have 30% in TVT, and your TVZ and TVP are 70%. So if you veto those two matchups that are 70% and you only play TVT in the hopes of improving, why is that bad?
But you would be still the same MMR, no? Like you said, if you divide it by 3, you would still you would still be diamond, even though your 2 matches are master. You would still be diamond because.
No, you wouldn't.
No.
Okay, look, I'm gonna type it out. Let's say your TVP is whatever, 4,000. There we go. TVP 4K, right? Oh my god, hold on. TVP 4,000. Oh my god, are you kidding me? You guys can't see it? Fun. Okay, so TVP doesn't matter. I'm not gonna write it down. TVP 4K, like this.
Yeah, but
TVZ 4K, right? And your TVT is 2,000 MMR. I mean, this is unlikely, but let's just go with it, okay? That is 10,000, correct?
Yeah.
So divided by 3, that is 33333. So this is your MMR. This is your rank. This is your rank in StarCraft II. So whatever 333 is, I don't know, plat, whatever. So you want to get to diamond. So what you do is you veto the 4K MMR matchups and you just play TVT. So you want to add your 2,000 to 3K, which would put you to 11,000 overall points. So when you divide it, your average would be higher, right? So it would be, doing math in stream, it would be like 3,650, something right like that, right? So your new MMR would be 3,650, and your ratings would be 4,000, 4,000, and 3,000. So you just improved in TVT while putting these other 2 matchups on hold and not touching them. See, why is that an issue? Isn't that a good thing?
I don't know.
Like, also, there's a lot of issues of people playing one matchup too much.
I get it in that in GM you have so many Zergs that you face.
Oh, but this is not in GM. This is in lower leagues.
No, I think in lower league it's kind of divided. There is always a lot of players and matchups that you can play, but.
Okay,
I take ladders like seriously. Maybe it's me.
But nothing would change. People would still play serious.
It would change, honestly. I don't know. For me, it would change. Maybe for you, no. But like I said, for me, it would not make the game as it should be. It's like you just banning something from the game, or like deleting what you are bad at. You know.
The thing is, the players you would face are the same players you would face anyway.
Yeah, but like how?
And they would not troll. They would actually try harder because that's the matchup they wanted to play.
Yeah, but like, how is that ladder make it fair? It doesn't make it fair then, because like if you will go good only 2 matchups, then you will play only those 2 matchups.
But exactly,
but you will call yourself master. But how can you be master when you don't play the 3rd matchup?
But
like the game should be taken as a whole, and not just as a 3 quarters of it or 2 quarters of it.
Okay, but the players that you face in those 2 matchups are the same rank as you are. They're not lower rank. They're not worse than you. They're actually same MMR. And
but you can say then, okay, I'm master against Terran and Zerg, but I'm fucking gold.
What MMR is master? Where does that master start?
I don't know, 4.4, something like that.
4.4. Okay, so wait, master 4.4. Okay, so that's where it starts, right? So let's say one guy, I don't know, what rank would you put his 2 matchups? Like it would not work the way you would think. I think I know what you're trying to say. Is like you said, the guy would be in master, but he doesn't play one matchup. But that means that guy would actually have to be so good, he would have to be in Grandmaster.
Yeah, but if he can be Grandmaster and defeat 2 races, why he can't beat the 3rd race?
Exactly, like, so he is at least Masters.
But yeah, so why do you need to fucking...
Because he doesn't want to play the matchup.
Yeah, that's why you should have like Unrai or something. If you want to train your matchup in something else, you can do it in other mode and not in the ladder.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, if he's 6,000 in TVP, 6,000 in TVZ, and his TVT is 3K, right? So you say that, let's say 4K, whatever. Let's say whatever number it is to make it 4.4. So you say he doesn't deserve Master, but his 2 matchups are 6,000. He's Grandmaster in mechanics and game understanding. He just doesn't want to play this matchup. So it actually lowers his rank. Where he should be, skill-wise, but he just doesn't play that matchup.
Like, I don't know, but why you need it? Like, if you don't want to play matchup, then just leave the game, you know? Like,
because then it's just wasting time.
The queue will be longer anyway, because it will give you the first player you can get. And of course, if you have queue for 3 minutes and you unqueue the 3rd race, then the queue will be 10 minutes, because you are waiting for the 2 other races. Like, the queue would be longer and longer. If there was these vetoes, I think you would wait for so long for a matchup. In Grandmaster, that would be 30-minute queue for a matchup, honestly, because there is so many Zergs, and if you don't want to play Zerg, what would you play? For who? I think that it will completely broke later, and the match queue would be so long because of this. In my opinion, maybe I'm completely wrong. I think it will just broke it later. I like the idea, but I would put it in N rank, not in rank. That's my
Mr.
statement.
Geek Art is very against this idea. So he says it's a terrible idea. Let's say one guy is very good against Protoss, so he vetoes the other races. He has only 1 MMR. How do you place him? I just told you. If he has 6,000 MMR and he has 0 MMR in TV against Zerg, 0 MMR against Protoss, that is 6,000 divided by 3. That is 2,000 overall MMR. But when he plays against Protoss, he will play against 6,000 MMR Protosses. That's it. It doesn't It actually, if you look at it that way, like he's not gonna be GM by playing one race. He will be actually like silver or whatever 2000 MMR is. So if you want to be GM, you kind of have to play all 3 races. Then he does have 3 MMRs. Yes, that's what I said. That's what we've been discussing with these numbers. You have separate MMR per matchup. And you can veto the races, and you can work on specific matchup, or you can remove and not play that matchup. And the win rate will be 50% at all matchups. For most people, the win rates are 50%. If you play more than 500 games in the season, your win rates will be 50%. I mean, like,
yeah.
That's
Let's agree that we disagree. I think on this, it's getting too long. Like this topic getting too long, but I get what you want to say, and I think you get what I want to say, but I think it just wouldn't work in later.
Okay. Well.
But I know that you must take it differently because you are higher MMR than.
No, but that's exactly the opposite. I'm trying to make the argument for lower rated players.
I don't know. I think if someone is
this is actually worse for me for the reasons you gave, because I will have to wait way longer because there's less Grandmaster players. I don't think queue times will change for lower rated players.
It would change for them too, I think. Like not much, but it would change.
Do you want to make queuing for matchups even longer? But if you don't want to have long queue times, you just don't veto any matchups. That's it. Like, I'm not making anyone veto matchups. It's an optional thing. Like, you veto maps. It's like me saying you can veto these 3 maps. And you're like, oh my god, but the queue times will be longer. Well, just don't veto the maps. And there you go. Now you have normal queue times. And if you make an argument, yeah, but the other people are going to veto the maps. Same thing is happening with the map pool. Some people are vetoing them, and you're not. So you're not going to play those players on these 3 maps, but you can face them on these 4.
Yeah, the maps are different though, because you have multiple maps, and they change every season, but you have only 3 races. And like the game is built on those races.
Okay, so what if you could veto 1 matchup? Does that change anything?
What if I could veto what?
What if you could veto 1 matchup only, not 2? Does that change anything?
No, it's still it's still 25. I don't know, my math is bad, but like it's still 33% of the game missing. You know, you are not playing in 1 matchup at all. Like you are not complete player if you are not playing all matchups, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, I think that settles
I think this works in League of Legends. I think you took it from League of Legends or something.
No, it didn't. This is something that I've seen a lot of people ask, like, why can't we veto the matchups?
Mm-hmm.
And these are the people that play the game for fun. Like, simple TVT is the thing I brought up. They don't like TVT. They don't want to play it. So why can't we just veto TVT and play the other 2? And yeah, TLDR, you don't think it's good for the game. You don't think it's fair because you're not a complete player, because you're not playing all 3 matchups.
But I would put it in honor. Like, it's a good idea, but not.
I would not. Like for me, it's either like in ranked or it's not. Like, there's no point in unranked. No one plays unranked because it's unranked. Like, no one cares.
Oh, but like people are playing it. You will be surprised. People are playing unranked.
It's. I mean, it's the same thing. Like, you can make a custom game. But most people don't. They play ranked because it's ranked. There's rank.
You need friends for custom games, you know. I think StarCraft is a really lonely game, and sometimes.
But yeah, but people also need rank as well. Like, they're not gonna play unranked. It's like the way I see it is, I'm sure that many people see it. It's like you play a game, you win, but it didn't happen because it's not ranked. And I know there's people that play unranked, but many people consider unranked just.
Yeah, but that would happen to Leather too if you just veto one race, you know. Okay, let's change the topic.
How would it make it so?
let's leave it there. Like I said, For me, it would not be.
Okay, anyway, TLDR for you is that. TLDR for me, this would only improve the practice. This would only improve the fun of the game. I have days where I get on stream and I don't want to play one matchup because I just played it 6 times in a row, and I would love to veto it and just not play it anymore. I don't think there would be problems.
Random, so your chances.
No,
like,
even
how would you solve random? You would pick only what you would even veto your race you want to play. Like they would complete this or this. Oh, yeah, that would not make sense at all. I think.
Just make it so you can't pick random.
So your stream career is dead because you can't pick random.
Dude, I've been playing random for under a year. Like I'll manage. Like I'm talking about for like Terran Protoss Zero point of view. Like I don't see how it would break MMR. Like I literally wrote down the numbers, and the numbers don't work out that people think they do. Like you're not like what people thought is you're gonna be playing 2 matchups and you're gonna be GM. That's literally you have to be so high ranked in Grandmaster to not play 1 matchup to be in GM. And at that point, if you're so high ranked in Grandmaster with 2 matchups, you can probably get the 3rd one there too, or at least in Masters. So. I mean, it's like my Zerg, right? It's exactly like my Zerg. My Zerg, ZVP, ZVT, it's okay. My ZVs is not Grandmaster, but I am Grandmaster with Zerg. So there's no pitchforks for that because I get carried by the other 2 matchups. That's just how it is. No one has a 50% or 60% in each matchup. Everyone has 1 weak matchup. That's about it. But yeah, that's...
I like that more about the Resonator game set. That he would prefer some what is it?
Prefer races you haven't played recently?
Races you haven't played recently.
But that's like a soft veto.
Yeah, but that's better than this entire veto, you know? Because the cure will be
but
not that long. Because you would still get the race you don't want to play, but you would get it.
But
if the queue was long. But yeah.
That goes against your argument, which is if you haven't played against
that's like a middle argument, so everyone would be happy, you know. I get that I can't be subjective about this. Like, definitely there are people who agree with you, and definitely there are people who are agreeing with me. But this would be like the middle ground, I think.
But that's not gonna help the queue times, though. The queue times will be.
No, it would help. Worse. Like you would have like you can wait max 2-3 minutes that the veto have, and then if it doesn't help, you will get the race. You don't want to play.
But you have the same argument. If you have 10 Zergs, 1 Protoss, 1 Terran, and you just played against the Zerg, and you're Terran, then what are you gonna do?
Well, yeah, you will get the race. You don't want to play it anyway. But yeah, that's.
So.
That is not the great solution, I guess.
I don't know. Anyway,
the world can't be utopia, you know.
Yeah, everything I mean, some people will agree, some people will disagree, but yeah, that is how opinions go.
We are talking about this for 20 minutes or 30.
Yeah, because I think it's a good discussion. Like I think it's a good discussion. Like I think we went very in depth of why you think it's bad. I think I went very in depth why I think it's good, and that's it. Yeah. Because I think if you end this with, well, I think it's bad, and I'm like, well, I think it's good.
Like I said, yeah, let's see. Like let's agree that we disagree. We both have opinions.
Yeah.
I think you have the right mind too, and.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of
course. Are they still arguing? We're not arguing. I mean, it might sound like we're arguing, but we know each other for a while now.
Like,
dude, I didn't even like say like fuck you to him, or he didn't say it to me.
No,
so we're good.
Fuck your beastie. Go to
okay, hell, that's okay.
You have a different opinion than me. How can you? Holy shit!
How can you, dude? Jesus.
Jesus Christ, I hate you.
I mean, at the end of the day, Yepin doesn't play StarCraft, so what does he know?
Yeah,
what does he know? Moving on. Next topic. Everyone who disagreed in the chat, you guys are not playing the game. The end. My stream, my rules, baby. No, I'm just joking. Okay, so the last topic. Now, this is non-StarCraft II related. Yep, and I have a question for you and for everyone in the chat. Your phone is somehow connected to the internet 50 years from now. What are the first things you Google? So you wake up, and you have, like, everything is the same around you. You just have a phone in your hand with access to internet 50 years from now. What do you
But
Google?
I say for this I would write to Google, is Fortnite still alive?
Oh my god, dude.
It's a joke. I don't know.
Yeah, but you would check that.
It's definitely like for third or something.
Okay, what would you Google?
Let's start with you. You know, I started.
No.
I want to hear your topic because I said Fortnite. Yeah, the other thing I don't know. Go for it.
What I would search? Honestly, I know a lot of people are gonna say stuff like stock or big companies that blew up in 2020 is.
I don't care about that.
I'm pretty sure everyone would either think about Googling that or checking it out. I think what I would Google is like my family's names. Like Mareka's name to make sure she's fine. I would Google myself because I would like to know if I'm dead by then. My parents and all that. Well, my parents are not going to be alive for 50 years, so probably not that. But, you get the point. Like, families to see if they're alive, and if they're not, how they die. So maybe I can prevent that. I would Google StarCraft 3. I would Google StarCraft 3 release date. I'm not even joking. To see if it's coming out. Because then if I see
Half-Life 3. Still not out,
Yeah, I would Google StarCraft 3 and I would see a release date, and then I would go back on my computer. I'm like, guys, StarCraft 3 is gonna come out on July 6th in 2021. Mark my words. Hey, do you want to bet? $5? But yeah, in all seriousness, I would Google that. I would Google map of the world. Like current map of the world to see which countries exist. I would Google like World War III.
Holy shit, you have so many things.
Well, yeah, dude. Like I would Google fast. What do you mean? Like I would just screenshot everything. Like just open screenshot. I don't know. Like I would literally go everything that pops in my mind. I would just go ahead and Google like the disaster of the century. I don't know, like fucking like sickness of the century or disease of the century, like all of that. I would check where they started. I would probably Google Serbia, like Serbia, whatever, and the most search results would come up. Like if disaster happened, people would probably search it. So yeah. That's what I would do. I would also probably Google like RTS Genre is alive again or something like that, and it would be a post from like 1995, But yeah, those are pretty much my thing. And I would probably let's be honest, I would probably also search like what company blew up or what to invest money in, kind of thing, to just kind of secure myself.
Yeah, I would Google some new breakthrough,
Yeah, that's a good one.
What happened?
Yeah. Oh, I would Google space travel too.
Yes, yeah, that too. Some new way of traveling or something. And I would Google Last of Us 2 if it came out, because I'm hooked on that game. I
What's
know
it called?
you don't. Last of Us 2.
I don't know what that is.
You don't play PlayStation, so.
Oh my god. Console. I would also, let me add that as well. I would Google, is console finally dead?
Wow.
Also, is it illegal?
You need to play Last of Us. Oh, you need to play Last of Us. Holy shit, it's the best game ever.
Also, are phone games illegal?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Don't you have phones? Oh, I would Google it.
Do people have phones in 2007? I wonder.
Does people play Diablo Immortal mobile?
You know, I actually wonder if in 2017 you Google, don't you guys have phones? I actually wonder if that thing shows up.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
I think in 50 years there will be like these virtual phones. You will have these glasses, you know, and you will have phone there.
Yeah, but that also makes it so less people are going to search, don't you guys have phones? So there's a higher chance it's actually going to be there.
True.
But yeah, I would love to, like you said, the breakthroughs are a good one.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, some kind of world miracle. I mean, you never know. Disaster of the century. Like, also...
This is mainstream things, yeah. Basically.
Yeah, like, I would search something like the biggest things that happen in 2020s. Or something like that.
I would check myself too, that if I get married or I will be forever alone. You know?
Pepe hands. Yeah, I'll adopt you, don't worry.
Oh, thanks, Dad.
No problem.
What if I want to be your wife, you know? You never know.
I'll probably be taken. I mean, I would have to Google, but I'll probably be taken.
But like honestly, after this discussion with the vetoes, I don't think I can love you anymore.
Wow.
You are dead to me.
Wow. Damn. Oh my god. Did you just hear that? Oh my god.
It hurt me so deeply. God damn it.
Amazing.
I never thought we could disagree on something. Never.
Well, there you go. But that's because, hey, listen, we still have that strong bond. It's just because you don't play StarCraft, and when you played it, you were Diamond like 3.
Come on, man! I played one ranked game like 4 or 5 days ago. I'm Master 2, okay? I beat Protoss.
Guys, he got placed in Master 2, Kappa.
No, check my profile. You are in the
Kappa.
Find Yepin in clan in your
It says it's too low rank to see the stats.
I'm 4.7k easy.
Okay. Well, that was a great discussion.
Yeah.
What would you do if there's no Google? The answer is obvious. I would Bing it. What do you mean, dude? Bing's gonna pop off any moment, I'm telling you.
I would Yahoo it. Yahoo.
Yeah, Yahoo!
Yahoo.
Did you Yahoo that one?
Man, do you want to play some arcades if we are over?
No, we're not
No?
over. Well, actually, we kind of are. But, I mean, if there's no Google, I mean, when you open your phone, you know, when you open your internet app, it's going to open whatever is, you know, it's a phone from 50 years from now. Like, it's going to have whatever's needed.
Internet Explorer.
Internet Explorer. Every time you open...
It will show you news from 220, you know, from 250.
It's like 2007. You were like, geez, the internet's probably insane. You open Internet Explorer, it's like loading. It's like dial-up connection. You hear that, it's like popping, and you click on something, and it opens like viruses to your phone. And
maybe there was a World War III, you know, and like we started again. So we started Internet Explorer. This is the only thing that stayed.
Well, I hope we don't go that far back into the caveman age.
Come on, man.
Not Internet Explorer.
Leave Microsoft Edge on the edge, okay? It's trying so hard.
All right. Well, that will be the end of this one. We kept it like 2 hours and 15 minutes, which is about the same as last time.
Yeah.
I tried. Maybe I should have less topics.
Update? Wait, there is community update? What? Oh. Mine is asking it like 4 times already.
Any more rumblings about community update or balance update? I know they're working on balance update, but I don't know when it's coming out or what exactly will be in it. I know what they're considering because they asked me about it, but that's about it. I don't know when the next one's gonna be. Yepin. Okay. You are the first guest on the most popular StarCraft II podcast in the Europe. Kappa. In NA. But what Kappa? Who has more popular podcast in Europe and NA? Tell me.
Yeah, true. I'm just copying.
Hey, we did it. Rank 1, Random 2 podcast. So yeah, thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed the chat. Even though we argued, like people said in the chat.
Don't remind me then.
Yeah, don't. I'm gonna ban you from the Discord after this. Actually,
unban me. Unban me. I don't want to come big anymore.
Okay, that's great. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. I will be cutting the podcast into maybe a couple of different videos discussing specific things, because not everyone wants to watch us ramble, or me and JP ramble in this one, but maybe just me in the next one. In the next episode, if enough people want JP back, we're gonna get him back. If not, if Yepin doesn't want to come back, I will have my women on the podcast. Wow.
Man, everyone will say women now. Like, you can't put me in this duel. Holy fuck.
So it's either Yepin women or Mareka women.
That's so unfair. That's so unfair. Everyone wants a girl in the podcast. Nah.
Wow. Well, you're pretty fine, if you know what I mean. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. Whether you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, the stream will be going offline now as well. Have a good one. Have a good night. Catch you later, alligator.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Also, check Yepin and at twitch.tv/ninja. Goodbye.
What the fuck? I'm famous.